All right, so we're live in the platform now. So you're gonna follow along with me. We're gonna screen share. We're gonna go we're gonna fly through Shopify itself. So the first thing I want us to go over. So I've got a demo store here, Platinum Palm. You'll see this is actually a business that I'm gonna be launching probably in the next 6 months. So we're gonna be just doing some of the basic setup of this website. You're gonna do it here with me. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do for your Shopify store is customize your theme. So they do give you a nice little setup guide. These are the things that you are required to have before you go live. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll click customize theme, just like they want you to do. And they have a nice little task ticker here as well that kind of walks you through all the different steps that you need to do. But we're gonna skip that for now. One thing that we're gonna focus on here in this course is there's a lot of information out there, especially on YouTube, that tells you what to do, what to click on, but I'm gonna show you why you need to be doing a lot of these things. So we're gonna talk a little bit more of the strategy of this stuff rather than actually, clicking the buttons and going through design, because I trust that there's enough what button to press content out there that you'll be able to figure that one out. So let's talk about the strategy behind it, why to do this versus that. So here, you'll go, when I just clicked that button, it took me down to online store themes, but this is where we kind of edit all of the various content that we have on our website. So I mentioned before in the last section that we have a catalog management software and we have the website, and they kind of break that out nicely for you. Everything up here is based around your catalog and your catalog management, and everything down here is based around your actual website and the content on it. So we're gonna go to customize. Well, actually, we're not gonna do that first. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the theme store. That's what I wanna walk you through. So Shopify has a theme store, just like an app store in Apple or anything like that. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna visit the theme store for what kind of theme we might want to utilize. And so when I say theme, the theme is the skin of your website in Shopify. That's your, the overlying design of what you're gonna be presenting to your customers. So Dawn, you're going to see this all over the place with Shopify. Dawn just came out, and maybe by the time you're watching this, there's going to be a latest and greatest and better theme. But Shopify is really, really proud of this Dawn theme, and so what they brag on it is you can customize any page. It's extremely fast. It's responsive. It's good on mobile. And for the most part, all of those things are true. This is the fastest loading theme that Shopify's ever had, in my experience. So what I'd say is, if you are unsure of what kind of theme you need to go with, 6 months ago, I would say do not use any of Shopify's native themes. They're not very good. But since the launch of this one, I would say go ahead and utilize their native theme. And so the advantage that you're gonna have on utilizing native Shopify themes is that they are supported. So all of the tech support, all of the documentation, it's all gonna be there because it's done by Shopify. And they have a vested interest in making sure it's good. So if you ever have, how do I edit this? How do I edit the code? How do I edit the theme? How do I do this? There's gonna be a trove of information out there by just a quick Google. So I'd highly recommend using that, but there are other options. There are two types of themes in the App Store. There's Shopify supported, which are generally speaking free, and then there's third-party ones that generally speaking cost money. And there's no right answer for one or the other. But my recommendation, as you just heard, is if you're just starting out, go with that Dawn theme. It is good. It is very flexible. There are some advanced features that it doesn't have, but for the most part, you're probably not going to need those advanced features yet. And the best part is, if you go with a theme, you're not stuck with that forever. You can switch to a different one later on, which will be the same as like designing a new website, but you're going to be doing that throughout the life of your business anyway. We recommend, the rule of thumb is redesign your website every 2 years. And you'll probably see that with websites like Facebook or other ones like that. They do redesign roughly every 2 years. So stick with that. Go with Dawn now, and if 2 years, if it's not doing what you want it to do, then stick to another one. So we're scrolling down here. They've got all their different themes that they have recommended. And so let's just go ahead and click one here. Spark. And so what I wanted to show you is these cost money, and they'll have who designed these various themes. This is Fluorescent Design Inc. These are going to be third party. And so what you can do is you can just dig into demo stores on them, and you can kind of see how it might look, how it might feel, how it looks on mobile, how it looks on desktop, and go back and forth. And so that's super, super useful. But there's going to be two considerations that I want you to have when deciding what theme you're going to go with. Do you have a small catalog? You have a small catalog with not very many products, or do you have a very large catalog with lots of products? And the reason there's a big differentiation there is if you are a small catalog with only a few products, you're not really going to need to utilize the search bar, if that makes sense. So the search bar in itself is, it's for large catalogs, because think like Amazon. I may already know what I need. I'm going to have to utilize that because the catalog is so large. Like, can you imagine going to Amazon and having to just start navigating through collections? You'd never find what you needed. So the same thing applies. You're going to look for, let's say you do have a large catalog, what a lot of businesses use. And so let's explore themes here. What a lot of catalogs use is the warehouse. A lot of large catalog themes, they use the warehouse theme, and it should be somewhere in here. But what you're going to be looking for is a theme that is really prominent in terms of the search bar. So warehouse, again, if you've been doing any level of online shopping, you have seen a store that's on this theme. The best part about it is this search function. So it makes search front and center. It makes your catalog front and center, because if you have a lot of stuff, you're going to need to have searchability really, really quickly. But the opposite is true. If you don't have that many products, you want to have less things, you want to feature them prominently, go with Dawn. Utilize just the collections. Don't really utilize search. And that'll kind of help you guide customers where they need to be, right? That's the whole point of this. You're trying to nudge people where they want to go. So those are your two considerations. So those are your two options. You can go Shopify supported, you can go free, you can look for something that has big catalog support, you can go with something that has little catalog support. One final point that I'd like to touch on when it comes to Shopify versus third-party themes, and this comes from my own experience. A lot of this course comes from my own experience. I have used third-party themes in the past, and they will go obsolete. And the problem with that is, so what we had happen is our theme that we were using was on a third party, and we had been using it for, I want to say 3 years. And then there was just a little bit of code in the back end that referenced something very, very minor, but that little reference was gone forever. And we reached out to the theme maker, and they said, oh, well, this thing it's obsoleted. We don't do support on this anymore. So what happened was, on our website, if you were using a mobile device, you could not load this website. So we had this fire drill. We had to switch themes immediately, because 2/3 of our traffic came from mobile devices. All of a sudden they can't load the website. And so you're never gonna have that with a Shopify supported theme, but you may run into that with third-party themes. You may not, it depends on the company. Again, these are all just third-party companies. They could go out of business. They're completely third-party supported. So I really would recommend going with Shopify themes when possible, if only that reason alone. But again, there's pros and cons to each. You'll be able to make that decision. Hopefully now you'll be able to make that a little more informed.